will, please turn your phones on silent or quiet, or turn them off, one or the other. Looks like we have enough chairs. One thing I want to remind the council, I've had a couple of complaints about they cannot hear us. I know you have to speak into these microphones, so be sure you do, because we've had a few people say they cannot hear what we say. So if you have something to say, please try to get close to the microphone. Okay, and do I have a motion to call the meeting to order?
Motion to call the meeting.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay, if you will, stand with me for the prayer and pledge.
Father, Lord, we come to you thanking you that you blessed us with another day of life, Father, and for all the many blessings, Father, that you bestow us every day. Lord, we know that you take care of us, and for this we're so thankful. Lord, we pray that you will be with us now in this meeting, Lord. Help us to be open-minded, to respect other people's thoughts. Lord, we pray that what we can do here will help benefit this community, Lord. And Father, we pray that you will continue to bless us and take care of us, Lord, and forgive us of our sins. We look forward to home in heaven with you. In Jesus' name we pray.
We'll turn with me for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, council meeting rules of procedures are available here if you've not got a copy of those or have any questions. And then we also have a copy of the agenda. I need an approval of the minutes from the previous meeting for July the 14th, 2015.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from July 14th, 2015.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? August the 11th, 2015 council minutes.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from August 11th, 2015.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Water and sewer surcharge ordinance amendment. This is your second reading and adoption of the first reading. The first reading was on August the 11th. Do I have any questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the second reading and adoption of the amendment for the water and sewer surcharge.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? And, Blue Ridge Housing Authority is Trevor's not, Trevor, he's not here. We had tabled this a while back, and they had some invoices, and they also have some pilot taxes that are due. According to, Shannon and Jim Robinson and Tony with Toes, they came up with 2435 of those invoices that probably should be the city, since we have taken over the lines from the building all the way out. Those are included in your packet. I don't think we'll have this issue again, because about the same time as when we asked Toes to let us know if there was something they thought was our issue, and we would go ahead and be billed for that directly. So these are just some things that are lingering from 2011, and well, in 2012 also. But we corrected that with Toes a while back.
So our total will be 2,435.
That they're asking to be applied to the pilot taxes, and pilot taxes, weren't they just right at $5,000?
we for sure, was ours, related to?
It was verified
The
by,
first three, are at manholes, which are the cities, and then the two are at canals. The other two were what?
Cleanouts.
You said that Jim and.
Shannon,
Also verified that.
Jim and Shannon and no, Tony with Toe Septic Service, how about that? I know his last name, I can't think of it.
Okay, so for the cleanouts that are 5 feet from the building, is that our responsibility or theirs?
All the lines in the ground on the property are our responsibility according to that lease. Or not lease, that property description and agreement.
So the total, is the total lease, what's the total lease? 2,435.
They're asking for that to be applied to their pilot taxes.
Okay, so 12, 20, 450 and 280, is that half of what they were, half of what the bills were? It's just what they.
It's about a
said
fourth
they-
of what the,
Well, I think they said that the other more than that, though, didn't they?
Trader had suggested we could half it, which the dividing the bills would be $2,215. So these invoices are actually more than what is.
Well, I think it'd be fair to pay what we know is ours, so.
and they've replaced some of those lines, they were pretty bad, but there's still more to replace there. So, okay, do I have that in the form of a motion? Was that a motion, Angie?
What was the total again?
2435.
I'll make a motion that we apply the 2435 to offset the pilot tax that's owed for the previous year's Blue Ridge Housing Authority.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you. Sign ordinance. Roy had made some suggestions and sent some copies to the council a while back about sign ordinance.
And I talked to him the other day, and he wanted maybe 2 council members to get with him and go downtown and, let him show us the things that are not in compliance right now, and things that he suggested that we make a change, like maybe some hanging signs and things, so, he just wanted 2 of us, so.
I'll do that, we just need to work on that.
Well, he suggested you, and then everybody else wanted to, so I'd be glad to do that, yeah. So,
I think that sounds good to me.
let's
And I'm
see,
pretty
guys,
familiar
let's
with
go.
Okay.
Okay, Joe.
So, you two are gonna get with Roy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll table that at this point. Can I get a motion to table it, and we'll put it back on the agenda next time?
I'll make a motion, we table the sign ordinance.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Carter and Sloop, their contract, there's some changes that David wants to make on that, so I'm gonna ask that we go ahead and table that to the next meeting. He had a few language changes in there. Get a motion?
I'll make a motion to table, Carter and Sloop contract. next meeting.
Do I have a second? All in favor? I don't think it was a big issue, I just think he and Matt needed to work a couple of things out. Number 9, cross-country flag day, April the 29th, 2016, added to the agenda by Mayor Piper, and I forgot all about that. Did everybody get a copy of this? Mr. McGill, who completed his cross-country pedestrian journey, he came by here, I think, back in April. Was that last year? Not this year. He didn't make that cross-country in that short time on foot. Surely not. Anyway, he walked 233 days, so I think that's just a typo. But anyway, they've asked us to declare a day of recognition for April 29th, 2015. Cross-country flag day. And there's a US flag petition. So there's some information there for you to review and look at and see if you wanna make that. We have plenty of time to do the ordinance or the resolution. Okay. have any questions about it? Okay. We want to just table that and we'll bring it back up later, that gives you time to research it. Make a motion to table it?
I make a motion, we table cross country flag, vacation day until the next meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Parking on Church Street and East Main Street, and I'm adding Roberts Way to this also. Dr. Hull's office had called me the other day, and they're having a very difficult time getting their patients in and out of their office. I'd asked Roy to look at maybe if the side of their building happened to be part of their property, or if it was actually city property, and Roy pretty much feels that that's all city property. Dr. Hull was gonna find his survey and bring a copy of that by him, but I've not seen that yet. But he desperately needs some parking places so that, he said a lot of his patients are, I guess Renee told me that a lot of them had used the handicap that's right there by the train tracks, and now that all that's gone, they don't really have a place to put them. And they would really like some handicap parking places, and we are short handicap spaces. So we could actually use some extra ones. The only problem is when you do handicap, you lose an extra space to make that work out.
I think there's still a handicap there at the train tracks, the one up closer to the street, I think.
But that's not actually a label handicap, you have to do the, you can't do them parallel.
Well, this just brings up something else that I think we should consider on parking. I think we should consider limited parking on the Main Street 2 hours. And that would, you know, and maybe even in front of his building, maybe an hour. You know, I was there the other day and walked on the street.
Well, his employees are parking over at the Blue Ridge Church parking lot, the back parking lot there, so they don't actually take up those parking places.
And I noticed, in front of of course, in front of the, Rexall is 30-minute parking. So we can have limited parking in front of his, but I just think it may be something that's off down the street. It's, stop, business owners from parking in front of the businesses. You know, anyone that's gonna be in town for longer than 2 hours could go over, or 3 hours, you know, just something, could go over to the free parking on West Main Street.
I think if you do that, you need to put, the extended parking signs up, and those are the areas that you can park in.
Or rather than having signs all the way down there, zero parking, maybe we could just have a sign when you turn down East Main Street that says, this section is limited parking. Please go to the free parking on West Main Street for longer stay parking or something, and just have it made at different locations and instead of having every parking space that you ever. That would make it.
I think you're gonna have a hard time unless you actually have the police officers monitoring it.
Say how we're gonna enforce it.
Well, they'll chalk it, they'll chalk the tires, I mean, that's how they'll do it.
Well, I think out of town folks are used to that type of thing, and they know that in most places you're gonna get a ticket if you stay 5 minutes over what your time is. So, and then after a while, I think local folks get used to it. And I don't think people that work somewhere is gonna chance it in there all day.
Not if you have to spend what you've made all day on a parking ticket.
True, so I mean, but it would probably take a while for it to get for the officers to kind of make a statement that, you know, if you do this, if you stay on the 2 hours, you're gonna get a ticket. I'm not saying that they have to do it all the time, but I think, you know, if they got through it, then you can pretty much tell who, if someone's abusing it. But that's just something I think we should consider at some point, especially when these Main Street.
I think they're hoping we'll consider something now. They need to get their patients into their office.
Oh, okay, well, up there, well, you know, the only thing about that, if we put limited parking there, would be able to do that, not do it everywhere,
What if you did the side of the building?
and just done it for his patients?
Or for Rexall Drugstore too, or anybody down through there that needed, just some 1 hour parking, or, if somebody's in there for an hour and 10 minutes, they're probably not gonna get a ticket for that, but that way, there's not a doctor's office there now, so that helps a little bit. There's just a dentist office. But it's really hard for people that, have a hard time with mobility to be able to get in and out. And then, and to walk across the street. And then most of the people going into the drugstore do need.
There's still a long ways for them to walk from there down the side to the grocery though.
At least it's flat.
Well, I'm good with it, I mean, even if you want to do it all the way down that section, from the parking, I mean, I'm fine with doing that. I do think they need some. So, y'all just decide where you want it, which place on the side.
Yeah, I was
east
approached
lane.
the other day about parking problems down in town. Might have to get looked at. It's being used, I think, quite a bit. And, maybe we need it all the way down through there. 1 hour, 2 hour, one or 2 hours down.
Well, that's what I was saying, but, now we can do it later, but, I mean, I think she's saying that we just need something.
Right there.
Well, and remember, you have merchants down through there too that don't want, I mean, speaking for, as a merchant, if somebody has a 1 hour limit on being able to shop, I can spend an hour and 30 minutes in Caesar's store easy, or 2 hours in Caesar's store. I can spend 3 hours, but, I mean, if a woman is in the shopping league, she's gonna take a while to go through everything, so.
So you think do you think 3 hours is sufficient?
For me, I think having it down through where the shops are on this, on East Main Street is not a customer friendly. That's just my opinion. It's hard enough to find a parking space down through there, to then to put time limits on it. People are not-
Well, I mean, I do understand that, but we do have problems.
We have a lot of problems.
And even, not to be, but even train riders,
Understand. What
if they park there at 9 o'clock and don't get back in till 3 and get to the restrooms and whatever, they're there all day, that's possibly 6 to 8 hours. So,
what I would
that,
caution against is to do something we all know parking in downtown's a problem, and I know that everybody's working on solutions, so to throw something out there that may not be part of the solution.
Well, this weekend, I had thought that we would try the parking here. We'll not go ahead and mark it off, but I thought we'd ask an officer to put some event parking signs here and just see if we can't kind of catch the traffic as it comes in and see how that works, how that flows before we actually go in and mark off all the parking spaces. And if we could catch even just the people that are working in the shops and get those folks over here in the city hall parking lot and around the city hall, that might make a big difference for all of us. How do you feel about, like Dr. Holes, the side of his building there, just having a limited parking? Mhm. I mean, if he could have just maybe 3 parking
Well,
spaces there.
there's definitely a difference between my type of business and his. He has people coming. I think that kind of business should have that. I think it would help him determine his clientele.
But
But I don't-
there's a plus side to them having to walk. They might walk by your store and stop in and buy something too.
I'm
so-
willing to get that done. For that. But I think for someone like that, to have a limited amount of those kind of spaces, but I think will help him and really doesn't hurt.
Well, the lack of accessible sidewalks and parking is a huge liability for the city. And I saw quite a few people this last weekend, very hard time getting there. And it is huge. It would be really nice if we were accessible and where people could, get on the sidewalks, get in businesses, get in the park, get their toilets. And that is a law, it's a national law that we have to comply with, so it's,
Did Dr. Hole give you any?
I think he's just hoping that we'll take into consideration anything. I think a couple of parking places or, the ones on the side. The handicap was something they actually mentioned too, because they see so many people with handicap issues. And we've had a couple of folks that have wrote us letters over the years that says, we just don't have adequate handicap. But every time you put in handicap spaces, remember you lose that extra space, so.
There is Dr. Gary's office right next to Dr. Holmes too.
Yeah, I think they own the buildings together, I mean, I know Dr. Holt, and he's the one that asked, but it's for all of them, it's not just him, and I think it would include the rec side, in my opinion, if you did that side. I think,
If there's even on Church Street, maybe a limited, time period,
an hour, what if you tried that, an hour party hour?
and that should be.
Maybe even done it from there, starting on East Main, all the way down to Rexall, and then just tie another handicap parking in there. Cause there's some handicap out there.
On the front?
Is Rexall moving?
Yes. I mean, they got a building, so.
But I think 1 hour is too short.
I do too.
You get a Dr. Holt,
No, I was saying there on East Main Street. So section and not, yeah,
Not at the side of the building.
no. But I mean, it would just tie into there's already some 30-minute parking in front of that Rexall, and then you have the handicap there.
I think if you go from that 30-minute parking back up toward the park, I think you've only got a few spaces, right? So if you ended up putting in some handicap, you'd lose a space for every two.
Okay, so put in handicap in there on East Main Street, and then the 2-hour parking on the other side.
Maybe that would work better. I mean, if they're there an hour and 10 minutes, I think you want to make it as short as possible so it is something that's turning over quickly. It only turns 4 times if somebody stayed there 2 hours, where if you had it an hour, it could turn 8 times.
But you could be in there waiting for 30 or 45 minutes before you even get to see the dentist.
They're pretty quick.
Yeah, I really think that we would give some leeway if it was an hour and 10 minutes too. I think it's a matter of turning the spaces quickly. If you did an hour up the street toward the police department, and then you did your handicap, I guess we need to look at the handicaps we can get in out there too.
Just take this and turn it to.
No, let's vote on something, even if it's wrong, let's vote on something, 1 hour, 2 hour, I don't really care which one, but let's vote on one or the other.
I'm good with whatever, I just don't need to vote.
So where do we want to put it on the side or on East Main Street?
I think you might put your handicap on the front on East Main Street and then put your 1 hour parking on the side. Or 2 hour parking, whatever. How about a motion? Now that I've confused you.
Okay, I'll make a motion with the handicap on East Main and then 1 hour winter parking on Church Street.
Do I have a second?
We're going 1 hour or 2 hours?
Hey, that's what I said, y'all said you fast.
Do it again.
I'll make a motion. Okay. I'll make a motion, we have handicap parking on East Main and limited 2-hour parking on Church Street.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? What if I get the wrong songs?
I don't think we have signs that say 2. Maybe-
I've saved some money.
That may be less. Oh,
I think we got some saying whatever.
do we?
We'll have to look. Okay, probation contract. David Siphon has got to review that contract, so I need to go ahead and table that till he has a chance to review it. He, I think, sent an email today, is that right, Kelsey? Just giving us some information, but now he needs to review the contract, so. That's where I had asked for us to look at the contract with, Judge Weaver versus Sentinel, where they pay their probation fees. I know we would end up with 2 probation companies until Sentinel rolled off, but Judge Weaver's actually offered more. So I just wanted him to look at the contract and y'all can decide if you want to change or if you want to stay the way we are. Let me remind you, we really don't get anything out of that. They pay $44 a fee to the probation company and that will go to either Sentinel or Judge Weaver. The one thing about Judge Weaver's probation is we will be able to, they'll have somebody that will help us with our community service people. And she will actually use some of her drug court people also to do community service for us. And she's been doing that. they actually did a lot of work on the depot, a lot of those have skills, like carpenters, concrete workers, and things like that. So that's the plus, that's the thing that we would get that would be an advantage to us. But that $44 fee does not come into the city that they receive every month. The fine money does, when they collect the fine. So can I get you to table the probation contract?
I make a motion to table the probation contract until the following meeting.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay, Rural Development Community Facility Grant. Tammy Decker was here last week, and they have, some grant money that's available, that will buy a piece of equipment. And I've got 3 things that we thought might work. One was we talked about buying a skid steer, and from what I understand from all of our guys, a skid steer is very helpful. It would be used for lots of things. It would be used at the water plant, the sewer plant. It would be used on the roads, on the streets. We don't have one, I was incorrect. We had one down at the water plant, but it belonged to the company that's doing the work. I thought it actually belonged to us, so I was wrong about that. So it's a possibility that we could use this grant. It's about $25,000, and we have to do a match, so we'd have to do 25%. I think we're 75% eligible. Yeah, 75% eligible. So we would have to put about $8,000 with it to buy something. Or if we bought something that's $25,000, we'd only qualify for 75% of that. So that's one item that we've looked at buying that we could use toward that. The other thing is our water company is going to need a pickup before long. I suggested that we might even look at buying an extended cab, a little heavier duty truck, because we've talked about buying some snow plows, and the snow plows that we first were looking at needed a little heavier truck to be able to be used. The guys say that it's very dangerous to use the, can you hear me better? I didn't realize how bad that got. The guy said all the steep grades up the hills, like at Chastain Street and McKinney Street and all of that going up, those are too dangerous to use our dump truck when it's snowing. And as you know, we actually had a wreck in our dump truck a few years ago when we had snow. So if they had the snow plows, they felt like they could do those roads a little better and do a better job with it. So that's the second thing we could use. The third thing that we don't have an answer back on is we know we're going to have to spend some money to do an upgrade at the sewer plant, to do the new filtrators, to have them installed and everything. It's about $50,000, and to do the new mixers. We're not sure that qualifies, but if it does, we could use the $25,000 towards that and then pay the other $25,000 ourselves. So there's 3 different items that we can use that two of the 3 probably really need to be done in the next year or so anyway with the city council. So you can bring it from general fund, or you can bring it through this grant. The pickup truck, we could probably wait another year on, maybe, but a couple of them are getting a lot of miles on them. But the skid steer, I understand it would save us a lot of money with some things we do.
This one, you can just apply for it yourself.
I can do the grant application. We don't have to hire anybody to do it. It's going to be, actually Tammy Decker says she'll do most of the paperwork for us. We just need to decide what item you want to purchase.
I talked to people at the shop, they do highly recommend the skid steer. Do they call you guys?
You know, we would have money out ourselves. The one thing, Rodney brought up the question as to why we didn't price a couple of other things, and I guess Tony is more familiar with heavy equipment, and he just said that, when you buy heavy equipment, you really want somebody that's known for doing heavy equipment, not somebody that does tractors and things like that. You want it to be a heavy equipment company. So that was kind of his reasoning for choosing the brands he chose. And I know nothing about heavy equipment. Well, I know a little bit, but not enough to tell you which brand is better.
He said his first option is that.
And I think that's a state contract too, wasn't it? State contract for us.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy it somewhere else, but that gives you a number.
It's cheaper than John Deere.
It's actually cheaper than John Deere. So that's the second reason. How do we have to choose tonight? Exactly what we want to.
No, but, we should apply, what did she tell me? It's the next couple of months. We have to apply. Yeah, and I don't think she's gotten us an answer back about the sewer plant either. So that was one of those things that it just doesn't fit the mold, but she was gonna see if it would work. Cause that's something we definitely have to do.
Well, if we can get free money for this piece of equipment, that's the way we should go. I don't know if we've got another $40-something thousand in the budget. Plus,
We don't have it in the budget now. We'd have to amend the budget to do it. She didn't say how long that would take for us to get an approval, did she? Probably 60-90 days, I would think, once we start. A motion
to apply for the grant.
to pick an item to apply for the grant, yeah. She's gotta fill in the blanks as to what we want. So if you want the skid steer, you need to approve skid steer. And now you will have that 25%. There's 25,000 is the most they'll give you. And then you'd have to pay 25%, but now this will be over your 25% because it's 43,000, was that right?
Yeah.
So you still got about $18,000 that you gotta pay.
What did they say, Rhonda, that they, I've never seen one of these in the city, they're using one.
Yeah, and that's, I think you said that they really need using it more, that they could save a lot of money in certain projects. And you talked to Rodney, I wish you were here.
I mean, anytime they need to move dirt or dig up any place. We've rented one a few times, but I don't think we've ever actually owned one according to the guys.
He said we would actually be longer and save more money if I had it. Is there not, I guess equipment they use for certain jobs, they should be using this instead.
Even unloading chemicals, they've had some issues with that, so it would be safer to unload them with this. And those chemicals you do not want to drop. And what we're unloading with right now is not very safe.
You know what Rodney is mentioned?
Yeah, I think he knows the
I
they would actually be able to buy a broom and actually be able to sweep the streets. There's lots of things they can do with it. Motion?
I'll make a motion, we move forward with the grant and apply for a skid steer.
Do I have a second? All in favor? So number 13, I guess, is, doesn't matter. 14, IT in a box, Kelsey added this, you want to talk about what that will do, and what it can do, and what options we could have?
Right now, our city website is posted and maintained by communications. It's documents and county. And right now we pay her, right at $300 a month. And so she had told us, a couple months ago that we needed to upgrade our website, which would be around 3,500 to get it up to speed of how it needs to be. That way hackers can't get into it and crash our site. So I started looking at IT in a Box, and they're like an IT company that helps cities with open records requests, new city websites that are unique to the city. We would get data management where I can store my documents on the cloud, which would reduce paper storage. They have 24/7 support, vendor management, and they do emails too. That way maybe you guys wouldn't have trouble with your emails accessing them.
One of the things that I had talked about was, being able to send your information to our iPads, tablets, laptops, so that the city council doesn't leave here with an armful of paperwork to have to go and file someplace. So that would make it easier for those documents to flow and things too, right?
Yeah, and we wouldn't be charged extra for an extra page on the website, so I can have a page where I posted all of the minutes and agendas and all the documents that you guys get in your packets. That way, maybe it would, you guys could look at it, on your iPads, or if somebody from the public wanted to see what documents you have, they could access it from their computers and don't have to submit an open records request. So it would help with the transparency too.
I know a lot of cities are doing this, and I don't think it's been around that many years, few years.
I don't know.
But I know they're trying to streamline their documents and their process, and I think it might help.
I know GMA supports them.
Maybe they do too.
Well, I think I mentioned this before, the email is really awful. So are you suggesting we do this for only 6 emails for us, and then y'all keep Kindles?
Yeah, the quote that I have is the very last page shows that the email would be for the mayor and council, and then me and Alicia would have the full access to IT in a Box, so we would get everything they offered, including the email. So we would keep Kindle's email for the other employees, but me, Alicia, and the mayor and council would have email through IT in a Box.
How much would that cost though from Kindle?
I think she charges us now $15 a month for all of our existing emails.
So right now we're paying her how much?
$13.99 a month, and that's for maintenance of our existing website and our emails.
So about $200 is what it costs.
So if we did this and we decided it just wasn't working for the city, 3 months down the road, we're not under contract, we could just do away with it. So,
That's one of their promotional things, it says that they don't want to cancel, so. But if
We have
did,
I don't think it hurts to try it, just to see if it happens, see if I pay for it, save some extra expense that it's gonna cost.
yeah, we have a filing nightmare. And it would just make it easier for everybody.
and all the documents that you scan and put on the cloud, store on the cloud, not only do you search by title, but you can search the content too, so like if you misspell something, even if you, whenever you search it, it'll still pull it up, even if you misspell the title wrong or something. So it would help ease up finding the documents once they're stored on the cloud. Especially since it has no upfront charge.
So, what's the final amount? $505.38 a month, Kelsey?
Yes.
cost us a couple $100 extra a month, but like, we could try it, and if we like it's beneficial to us, then we can decide at that point. And I think we should try it for a few months.
Do I have, that's a motion?
I'll make a motion that we try it in a box for 3 months and then bring it back to the council and we can decide if we want to keep it next 3 months.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Snowplow quotes, Tony had gotten these on a couple of different kinds of plows. The 2010 Ford, the F-150, and that's why he was looking at this type of snowplow. It's $3,200. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. Here's another one that's $5,853. And then another one that is $5,978.
56,
You said 56.
said 58.
Go down the bottom, you got freight to the.
Oh, okay, 56, 53. Well, it looks like an 8, 56, 53. I think this was one of the ones that I'd really like for him to come in at a meeting and talk about these. Because if we buy the wrong one, it's not gonna do us a lot of good. If it's too heavy for the truck, so you wanna make sure your snowplow is gonna match the truck you're gonna put it on to make it efficient.
I'm also wondering if others have mounting kits, and that can
Yeah, Tony said that they use ones that actually fit the trucks that we have.
So it's the smaller one, then, not the larger one.
Does that include mounting kit and everything? Like the other two places do that. I'm not sure.
Says it includes life kit.
Yeah, it's all, and the others have a light, that has your mounting carton. All that. The other one has an adapter harness mounting kit, touch control.
I think this is one of the things he needs to come in and talk about at our next meeting. Because if we buy the wrong one, we're not gonna be doing us any favors. So do you want to table snowplow?
Motion, we table snowplow to the next meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Cassie, will you make sure Tony knows to be at the workshop? Okay. Blue Ridge Business Association, Caesar. You'll have to turn it on, I think.
Look towards the light.
Hello. Hi, couple of things, that I think we brought up before, but I haven't heard much about, so I just wanted to throw it out there again. One, we're coming very close to, holiday decorating time, and I think I brought it before, the lights that go on the poles down Main Street. And some of them weren't working from last year, whether or not we're going to replace them, but I think it's like 2 months ago.
They were actually gonna get those out. There's, I think, 3 of those that were not working. I believe that's correct. Does that sound right?
I don't know, I just know something more.
Yeah, and I don't think it was the light itself. I think it was the pole. So we're gonna have to get Tri-State to look at those. I hate to see us. No, there's a box up there. There's a big box that, and we've had some trouble with a couple of them. 2 of them are on timers. That very first pole right there in front of Seabolts is on a timer. So I think, is that one of the ones you're saying was out?
I don't know, I, like I said, I just know that some of them weren't working, yeah, and I don't know whether anybody's checked them. Do we know if they all work?
I talked with Tony and Tim the other day.
That's
They
fine.
were gonna get everything out and go through it.
By the time you have to put them up, it's gonna be too late. So,
I hate to tell you, but it's probably too late now to get new ones.
okay, so can you make sure that the ones that turn last work?
work. Cause any of those things, you usually have to order them like 7, 8 months in advance.
Yeah, so for me, I was just,
But that's a good question,
do
and
we
they,
know which one's working, which one's not?
yeah, they're supposed to go through all of those. The other thing, lights, I was told by Tony the other day, all of our, Christmas lights, the clear lights that we have, that a lot of those are not, this is our 3rd year that we've used them, I guess, 4th year maybe, 4 years, I guess. And he said a lot of those are gonna have to be replaced. So,
That is
Good.
true.
yeah, and just different people step on them, they get broke, being put on trees or on poles or whatever.
Just trying to raise the awareness.
Yeah, we discussed it like 2 weeks ago, just, what do we still have that's working, what's not working. But some of that's the poles, and we will have to get Tri-State out here to look at them.
Okay. Another one was, we had some businesses that were wondering if we could get garbage cans down at the big parking lot.
Put some in there last week,
Oh, you did?
yeah, I think I got an email back that we got some down, yeah, I'm pretty sure we
So
got,
they're there?
yeah,
Okay.
the Toes has the,
I know they have the restrooms down.
yeah, he had called me and said that people were just throwing trash on the ground and
Right.
we put a trash can there. And I'm pretty sure that we sent a couple of trash cans down, but I'll check that.
Could you? Yeah, that'd be great. The next event from the Business Association, could you say so? Just want to make sure that you know that's coming up. And Halloween is on a Saturday night this year. So, again, just reminding you, we're going to ship on the street. Give all the kids a sugar high.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
The Business Association meeting that we had last month, we had a couple of speakers there, and we also brought in new board members for the year coming up. Roy came in and talked about signing, so I'm glad to hear you guys are able to do that. If you would like some input from the Business Association, if you want to have to walk along. I really like my sign too, so just want to make sure. New board members, I just want to let you know who's there. Cindy is going to continue as president. Unfortunately, I'll be there as vice president. Pam will be there as well as Ann Merkel and Corey Bryant. The new members, I hope you know some of these people: Stuart Hart, Janice Carey, David Durkin, Ruth Jordan, Missy Mercier Villard, Frank Moore, David Scanlon, and Abigail Summer. Those are all new members of Business Association. Since the last time we met, I don't think anybody talked about the Great Gatsby event that they had out there. Sold out. It was a wonderful event, raised over $6,000. So that's ongoing for Black Bridge, which is really very cool. They're going to have, and just so you also know that the tree that goes in the park is being assembled and put up in the Black Bear Professional Agency, so that will all be very nicely. There you go. Thank you.
When they get ready to do the lighting of that, we probably need to have a heads up just so we can have that power check, because we had some issues with that last year.
With the not lighting.
When they put,
We thought we had blown up the city of Blue Ridge. I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen, so it needs to be checked.
Well, I think
That
it's-
service has been in there for a long time.
I think it's scheduled to go up the week before Thanksgiving.
the week before.
So there should be, unless there's some major work that needs to be done before. Did anybody check that last year?
We buried, we
Buried
buried
the
a line.
But I think that was just temporary. I think we need to fix something permanent in there just to keep from having a problem. Yeah,
So is that something specific?
I think it's just older, the pipes that are there, and maybe water had gotten in there or something. I'm not sure, but I'll find out. Somebody mentioned it. Patricia Jones, she's not here. I don't think. Did she have someone to speak for her?
she called me and, I think last week, and it was just, I think she said she got it taken care of or touched done or something, it was just like, the dog, and that's what it kind of.
Mr. Ryan?
You could table me along with everything else.
Okay. We can do that. You want a motion for that in a second? Patrick Crane?
Last time I got up here and spoke, I spoke about the city chart. That, they follow, the cities, you do follow the city chart. The law of Wells, the city, October 16, 2012. Larry Sand Planning Committee, did request review on the 23rd of October. Acted on the planning commission's suggestions. It was a 2-2 council vote with you taking the time vote when you were elected involved. And on March the 8th, the city listed organized connector as C2. On March the 10th, Clyde Fortner gave you a CO permit number 387 was for the furniture store. This is on city charter, article 2, section 2. You registered with the elections office, your home address as Gordon Lance, but a year prior to running the first time. However, according to city law, the address is not allowed as a residence. Section 3:14:6 says no city council member or mayor shall cast a vote. And an ordinance which there have direct interest. Spoke with the elections office and turned several times. Council has passed time to hold each other accountable, take investigation into this matter. Asking to vote and place the mayor on the leave until this decision is made for the removal of office. According to the state elections office, 15-point requirements needed to be proven to destroy residents, more than enough evidence available to show that you do not live in the city of Blue Ridge. And it says that in the city charter, that you must live in the city for 6 months and 1 day to stay as elected official. And then failure at any time to possess qualifications of the office as provided by the city charter. That's city charter, section 217. And then section 322 states, mayor shall see all laws and ordinances of the city are faithfully executed. And section 312 states, inquiries and investigations, council may investigate any department, official, or agency. If they don't comply with the law, the council may be punished. So, I think something needs to be done. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, we need an executive session for land sale.
After motion, we move into executive session to discuss the land sale.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?